Bless you.
I'm going to have to keep muting, mate, otherwise it's just going to be a live stream of me coughing and sneezing.
Oh, we're live. Shh.
We are live. Let's put a little tweet out. I need to learn how to put like the little holding room thing on so that we can be live for a minute before. Give all our fans a chance to.
Pre-stream.
Well, yeah, most have it. They have like the little background up for like a few seconds, don't they? So,
yeah.
Or a couple of minutes.
And it drops into an intro.
Yeah, but I don't know how to do any of that, so.
No.
Anyways, how are we all?
Good, mate.
Yeah, not too bad, mate. You?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Glad that we've seen the last of the international breaks for what is it, 4 months now?
Fuck for that.
I mean, I've got absolutely no problem with the international breaks themselves, like the football, but it just messes your week up, doesn't it? Like once the last set of fixtures go, what is it, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is like, you know, what are you supposed to do? There's nothing. You can't even rely on like other countries to sort of pick up for you because obviously they're all, especially World Cup qualifiers. There's just nothing on, is there? Nothing to even pay attention to. Nothing to gamble on. Do you know what I mean? Shocking. But there we go. I suppose. I was going to say at least it was like good whilst it lasted, but it wasn't really, was it? I still haven't watched the San Marino because what's the point?
Yeah, I didn't bother.
I didn't watch either game. It's not worth it, is it? But anyway, there we go. 2 concurrent viewers apparently. Hey guys, if you're watching, give us a little hello in the chat so we know it's not just, I don't know, a bot or some pointless family member or something.
Scott's typing.
Yeah. One of them's me.
No. One day, eh? Anyway, as I was saying before, score-wise from last week, week before last, whatever the last week was.
Last game week.
Yeah, last game week. Oh, it's just Abby.
Oh. Yeah.
Hello, Abby.
Abby's only going to be gone half hour. It'll be alright.
Right. Last week we won't dwell on it because it's embarrassing. I scored a massive 1 point. 1 point. I mean, to be fair, it was a bit of a funny game week when it all sorts of there were some upsets. But yeah, one whole point for me. Scott bagged 3, so not much better, and I think one of those was because of the joker that Josh played on him for the Leeds Leicester draw. David was the highest scoring with 6, which isn't good. Rescued a little bit by the Leeds Leicester game actually as well. Had the 1 each, and then Josh with again a pretty embarrassing 3. So I feel like I've taken on the Scott role in the last couple of weeks. So wounded animal. I've got to bounce back this week. Few new managers in the league, or a few movements anyway, just to make things that much easier for us. What are you guys' initial thoughts on them? One of you's got to speak here.
I could talk for hours about Newcastle and Eddie Howe, but I feel it's nobody wants to hear that.
Just a quick breakdown on them. Eddie Howe. What have we got? Gerrard, Dean Smith.
Yeah, Eddie Howe, I think he'll do a great job. But again, I think it's only going to be, for 4 years until Newcastle are top 8 because of the funding, and then they need to get somebody better in. Who else we got? Dean Smith. Oh, he's come to Norwich. It's like, why bother?
Straight into another job, innit?
Do better with bloody what's her name? Well, I don't even know what her name is. I don't care little about Norwich. Let's be having.
Hang on a minute. Whoa! I was going to say you're going to have to start caring about Norwich.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they'll be alright when you do well with them. And who's the other one? Who's the new one? Oh, Gerrard. Oh, he's got the foundation to do something well there at Villa, I think. So.
Yeah, David, how do you feel about the Howe? you're supposed the most affected by that. None of us really care at this point until they start becoming an issue in a few years' time, like Josh said. But happy with it.
It's just a massive upgrade over Steve Bruce, isn't it? So.
Yeah, but you'd say that one of us was a massive upgrade over Steve Bruce. So
upgrade over Steve Bruce. Yeah. But I mean, just even the way. So his first training day, there were just pictures of him and videos of him running with the players, and even just that, fans of Newcastle were just going crazy because they were like, "He's getting involved. He's doing something."
young manager, a bit hungry, a bit of energy in the
But like, apparently, in his interview, he was saying that he just had to take them all back to basics and just say, "You need to keep running. You need to just play it simple."
Yeah.
And I was just like, "That's stuff you teach, like
enjoy football again." Yeah.
But like that's like basic stuff you teach kids when they're first starting to learn football, and he's having to come into a professional club and tell the players to do it.
I think that's probably quite a common problem at struggling clubs, is that it gets so difficult that managers, coaches, even the players themselves probably start overcomplicating it, rather than just, right, we need to run more than the people we're playing against and do the simple things, and will at least improve. You might not win anything, but you will at least improve. Scott, as the only non-Premier League team supporter, what's any views on any of these, or all just pretty similar?
I don't know. I reckon Gerrard's probably is a good appointment. I think it's a good shout. I think he'll do quite well. Do I think he's going to turn them into a league-winning side? Definitely not.
No one's going to turn them into a league-winning side anytime soon. But from a Villa point of view,
it's a very good appointment.
I think it is a good appointment. Unfortunately,
it's his audition for the Liverpool job, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all it is. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
His ideal, wouldn't it? It would be to play out his contract there. However long Klopp's going to stay at Liverpool. What do you think? Another 3-4 years, something like that, if that. And it all goes well for Gerrard at Villa, and he does all right, and then he steps into the Liverpool, which is probably a good way to do it, rather than like the well, that's the.
So like Rangers.
Look, hey, I'm a Rangers fan, so I'm fuming about it. I'd have much prefer he stayed and see out that job there. But there we go. I suppose the good thing is I don't have to be conflicted about liking Steven Gerrard anymore, do I? He can go back to being a Scouse wanker, and that simplifies things for me. But I do think he's a good manager, and he's got a little bit of class about him, hasn't he? That I think brings something to a football club anyway. And it was a good fit for Rangers, and it probably will work quite well at Villa as well. And it's the point you have to make is that he doesn't go there unless there's some ambition and some money being touted for him, does he? You stay at Rangers in comfort, then, don't you, and keep winning titles. But this says to me, like you say, this is absolutely an audition for a Liverpool job, because it's like you're going to have money to spend, and this shows Liverpool you can spend it well. That's the idea behind it. So we'll see. Anyway, on to this week. So I was having a little look, and we say it every week, and there is some tough matchups, but I think largely because I don't know if I'd have viewed these the same a fortnight ago before some of these managerial changes. I think they have changed my mind a little bit. I think I would say all of those new managers are improvements on their previous ones, though. I think the teams that have brought in the new managers have all upgraded.
Yeah,
no?
Probably. Yeah.
Dean Smith probably a better fit for Norwich in their predicament.
Yeah,
he did a good job at Villa, in fairness, for what they needed, and they just need a different sort of calibre of manager now. But is he not someone that could come and solidify that? I think they've all upgraded, so I think it's a tough one to call. Anyway,
it's the worst appointment out of all of them, not Eddie Howe. That's got to be the worst appointment. It's a short-term appointment until he gets someone better, surely.
You could say that about any manager, though.
Yeah.
How many long-term managers are there now? You've probably got.
You know what I mean, though. It just doesn't seem ambitious enough.
Yeah, but you're living in a dream world, man. They've got to stay up first. There's no manager that's used to spending £200 million transfer budgets is going to go and put himself in that situation. It's a lose-lose for him. They're Newcastle.
Game this season. Why would you want to come and manage Newcastle?
They're a sizable club, but because of their fan base and nothing. They're not a successful club. They're not a successful club. They never have been largely successful. So they're a big club because they've got this ridiculous fan base and nice stadium and big city to themselves and all of that. They're not a big club. They're not going to go and get one of the top. I know some of their fans probably want to, but being a realistic fan, there's a certain calibre of manager they can get, and I think you can probably go and get someone a little bit more fashionable, i.e. foreign, and it probably sounds better, but I think he's probably is a good appointment. He's not going to build the Newcastle empire with the Saudi money, I don't think. But I think, who do they go and get that realistically goes there?
Well, Unai would probably be in the big flash name. I reckon.
Nuno?
No, Unai. Emery.
Oh.
Emery.
Well. Okay. Maybe. But again, that's a short-term appointment, isn't it? He's not somewhere that you go and have there for 3-4 years. And what's his sort of what's his qualification to managing in the bottom half of the Premier League? He's managing Europa League winning sides. It's a different kettle of fish altogether. It's a different skill set. So no, I think it's a good appointment. To be fair, I think that's Eddie Howe did really well with Bournemouth until it all just went a bit stale. I suppose the only worry is they spent money quite badly towards the end, like overspending. But I think he'll last a contract there and probably build them up to a mid-table side. I would have thought he at least tries to play good football, which you'll be happy to see, and then the dross you've been used to him watching. So anyway, enough of that. On to the games then, bread and butter. Leicester-Chelsea gets things underway. We'll come to Josh first. None of us really been able to get Leicester right so far, have we?
No, not at all. I especially have. But I say it every time, but Chelsea's just a strong team. I'm presuming Lukaku's back fit now because it's been another 3 weeks.
I'm not sure. We research well here, so.
I'm going to go for a 2-1 Chelsea.
2-1 Chelsea. Scott.
All similar reasoning, but I think Chelsea are going to get more than 2 goals. 3-1.
Okay, David.
I think it might be quite boring actually. I've gone 1-0 Chelsea.
Yeah. I've matched Josh and gone 2-1. I think Chelsea will prove to be a little bit too good, but I am on the same wavelength as David. I don't think this is going to be an exciting game, to be honest. I still have to keep in mind that Leicester are going to come good at some point. But saying that, a lot of speculation over Brendan Rodgers' future there. Does that affect things? We've seen it affect clubs before where their manager's under, when there's interest from a sort of bigger team. I think that might sort of stunt them into mediocrity for a little bit longer until that's sorted one way or another. So, yeah, Chelsea, United.
Oh,
He ruled it out though. So
yeah, when?
the other day, wasn't it?
Did he?
Day before.
Okay, I haven't heard that, but over the last couple of days, he's been the bookies' favourite, hasn't he, to replace? That might have changed now if that's what you're saying, but I've not seen that. So, but we'll see. Yeah, Chelsea too good anyway. 2-1. Villa Brighton then, another team that we haven't really got right. To be fair, I don't think we've got much Villa right either. Bit of a tough one. Scott, you can get us started on this.
It's literally the only game that I did any research on, just to try and come up with a reasonable prediction. It's the only one I did anything on. And I've gone 2-1 Brighton.
Okay.
And I wish I could give some really long-winded, detailed philosophical reason, but it's purely down to the fact that Villa's starting keeper is out suspended.
Okay. Fair enough. I suppose it is a factor. It's something I didn't know because I haven't done any research to it. But David, what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm just interested in why that was the one game he did some research.
because I started looking 5 minute It's before we started the live.
It's alphabetical.
Okay.
Well, I've been fully on board the Brighton train this season. The last couple of game weeks they've let me down.
New manager bounce.
And I believe in the Gerrard impact. So I've gone 3-2 Aston Villa.
Okay, goals there then. Similar, but I've gone 2 each because I'm not ready to start. I've sort of got. I was sort of. In my mind, I was on the Brighton train, but I wasn't backing them. And then I started to back them, and they've let me down a little bit, same as you. But I'm not ready to get off it yet. I still think they're a really good side. And I think it's probably a bit of a surprise that I've not heard Graham Potter linked to any of these jobs that have gone. Probably because his name's Graham Potter and it doesn't sound very exciting. But I think over the next year, 12 months, 18 months, you're probably at least going to see some links to some bigger teams. I think he's a really good coach. I think they're a really well organised team. But Villa have been poor, but the Gerrard thing will, I think, at least get them going, and there'll be some goals in it. So 2 each for me. Joshua.
2-1 Villa for me. I think Brighton are going to start to crumble. I think they're not going to get the results that they've been surprisingly getting. Yes, you're right, they are strong and good foundation, structure and everything, but the good results need to stop at some point, and unfortunately it's going to be Villa. So 2-1.
Confident, okay. One of the rubbish games of the weekend, maybe? Burnley Palace. I'll start this one because I'm going to come to David. Well, I have backed them to win 2-0. I do think that they'll win it. Obviously, Burnley, I think scored their goals for the season in the last couple of weeks, sort of surprisingly. So, and Palace do just credit to Vieira, which I wasn't going to. I didn't give him anything. I slated them to death at the start of the season, but he does seem to have gotten something out of them, and they seem to have found a bit of an identity. So, comfortable for me. 2-0 Palace. Not a good game though, I don't think. David.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a good game. I've gone 1-1. I was going to go 0-0, but they both.
There's a goal in there somewhere, isn't there? From me.
Yeah, they'll both scrape one.
Yeah, I agree. Scott.
Yeah, it was a toss-up for me between this game and one other game this weekend, for which one was going to be the boring game of the weekend. A bit like David, I did nearly go 0-0, but I think Crystal Palace will find a goal somewhere. 1-0.
1-0 Palace.
Yeah, it'll be from a corner or it'll be a set piece goal, won't it?
Okay.
Nothing exciting.
Josh, back in Burnley.
I am not backing Burnley. I think Crystal Palace is actually going to score a couple, but I do think Burnley may actually snatch one back. 3-1 Palace.
3-1. So you think they're going to score a few?
Yeah.
Not a couple. I just want to go back. This is nice and professional, as always. Remind me which... I think I might have put... Oh, he's fell over. Oh, no. He's died.
Somebody text me.
Remind me who went for what? Villa Brighton. What did you go for, David?
3-2 Villa.
3-2, yeah. And Scott, you were 2-1 Brighton.
2-1 Brighton.
Yeah, I put them the wrong way around. That's fine. Right then, David, this is the one for you. Brentford have... I mean, I could say this about every team because none of us have got much right on a consistent basis, but Brentford, another one. Tough to call for most people, to be fair. Newcastle, Brentford, though, good opportunity to get that first win.
Very much so. I think
he's not going to back a Newcastle win, is he? He's not going to do it.
For the first time this season. 2-1 Newcastle.
2-1 Newcastle. He's done it. He's done it. Josh.
2-0 Newcastle for me.
Okay.
I believe I've been on the Newcastle train the whole season. That might be why they're not doing too well. At least I was there before they're skyrocketing.
Yeah, missing all the actual results and then just saying it. I've gone 2-0 Newcastle as well. I think this isn't a game for Brighton, and after the international break, all this build-up, Eddie has had a bit of time with them. think it'll be reasonably, not comfortable, but I think it'll be a deserved 2-0 win for Newcastle for me. Scott?
Fortunately for all three of you, I'm on that Newcastle train with you, so they're going to lose, aren't they? 2-1.
Okay.
The first and probably only time we've all gone for a Newcastle.
Yeah, I think it's not going to happen often, is it? Well, no one had a Norwich win last time out, did they? And the buggers, the buggers did it, and then Farke got sacked. So it's Southampton that are the visitors this time. Now, I've gone 3-1 Southampton, and I just think that although Dean Smith's a solid coach and probably a decent appointment for that predicament, it's going to take a little bit of turning around. And something about Southampton, I don't know. I just think that there is on their day they've got a few goals in them. I think Armstrong's a decent player, and I think he'll get a couple. So 3-1 for me. Which way should we go around? We'll go to Josh first.
I think there's going to be goals in this one. Don't rate either squad, but I think that Southampton are the more threatening final third. So I'm going to go for 4-2.
4-2 to Southampton?
Yes, of course.
Just checking. David?
1-0 Norwich.
No, he's not.
Bring on the jokers.
You have been dangling at the joker bait the last few game weeks, haven't you? To be fair, I think nothing's happened because when the jokers have come out, like everyone's got it wrong. So it's just done. They've ended up doing. It's a bit of an anticlimax. But any thought? What just a gut feeling that, or new manager bounce again?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just Southampton don't inspire me at all.
I know what you mean. They're bang average, aren't they?
Yeah, Norwich won, and then they've got this new manager, so
maybe. So internationals maybe come at the wrong time for Norwich. Would they have liked to carry that momentum into a?
I'm not sure because they got a new manager, so it helps.
Yeah, it does.
Implementing his style and stuff. And also a bit of history in that game. Dean Smith will be the first manager in Premier League history to manage two separate teams playing against the same team in consecutive weeks or something.
Oh, okay.
So he was managing Villa against Southampton, and now he's going to manage Norwich against Southampton.
See, all the stats coming out. I mean, I'd say for all the people watching, there's Abby, but you know, interesting. It says 2 concurrent viewers. Are any of you watching it?
Oh. Got it on.
You have.
I've got it on. Yeah.
Thought we had a little view of them. It's just Scott. All right. Well, that's an interesting one anyway, David. If someone watches it back, which some people do, that's really interesting. So leave us a little comment to see how interesting that was.
That far in you.
Yeah. You absolutely. Maybe I'll cut that and put it at the beginning before anyone switches off. Scott, what's your take on this one?
This was the other one I had where I thought, is it going to be a really boring game? 1-0 Southampton. And I think I could have very easily gone 0-0.
Could be some jokers in there somewhere then, a few different views. I don't know about this one, but we'll start with David and Watford against Man United.
So now I really wanted to go for a Watford win, but I just can't say how. I just thought it'd be really funny. So 3-1 Man United, I guess.
Just pretty standard, in it. Win, probably won't deserve it, but will concede as well. Yeah. Josh?
Yep, 3-1. Exactly the same.
Oh dear. Scott, not much to say on this game by the sounds of it.
No, I had 3-1, but I feel like if we all go 3-1, it's even more boring. So
I've not gone 3-1.
2-1.
2-1. Much loads different that, yeah. That makes it loads more interesting. I've gone 2-0. I don't really know why. I think Watford I don't hate them as much as Josh. I think there's a bit of something there, but they're not going to play every week, and I think it's probably a decent side for United to play. Solskjaer's probably under the most pressure he's ever been, and typically they get a result when that happens. So, I think it'll be routine-ish as far as it can be with United for the win. we'll move on from that one. Wolves West Ham. I think this might be a decent game. I've gone 3-1 West Ham because had there not been an international break after beating Liverpool, I would have been tempted to go for a draw or a Wolves win. But they've had a little bit of a break, and I think it sort of resets things, and they're a much better side than Wolves. So 3-1 Wolves. David, inside info?
None whatsoever.
Got a good shout at getting it right then.
I've gone 2-0 West Ham. I was thinking about this for a long time because I know Antonio got back from international duty quite late because the West Ham owners had to pay for him to get a private jet to fly back to get some training in for this game. So that kind of made me think he might not be fully ready to play, but just they're so much better than Wolves.
He'll battle through and he'll make an appearance. Yeah,
they'll probably win even if he doesn't play anyway. So.
Yeah, no, agreed. Yeah. Scott,
I'll tell you what, his goal was absolutely fantastic
against the USA. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it funnier though? Did you see the guy that was celebrating that fell over?
Yeah, fell over backwards.
That was funny. Tried to smash it back in, didn't he? And he swiped it and kicked it like wee. That was funny. Scott.
I agree. I'm hoping that Antonio gets a couple of goals. 3-1.
I hope he doesn't because I don't think Vardy's going to get much joy this weekend. So, Josh.
I actually was following the same footsteps of you, Rob. If it wasn't for the international break, I think Wolves would have got it. But no, I'm gonna take a punt. I'm gonna go 2-1 Wolves.
2-1 Wolves. Going against his own logic.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. I just think you get they get that big result, don't they, against Liverpool, and then.
Yeah.
But I just think that everything's calmed down and that's sort of been forgotten about and it all sort of starts again. But we'll see. Game of the weekend, maybe.
Yeah.
Could also be terrible. I don't know. But in terms of the sort of size of the two clubs, it probably is the one. Liverpool Arsenal. I suppose we better start with you, Josh.
It's at Anfield, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. It's going to be 2-1. Liverpool.
Not backing your boys this week.
Partey, Aubameyang are both injured, so I can't. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Fair enough. And Liverpool, they'll want to bounce back, won't they? I think.
Yes.
I do think that there's goals in it. To be honest, I don't know why because I think a lot of the time when I've looked at Arsenal, I'm probably thinking of Arsenal of years past, whereas actually it's a lot of grinding out results rather than sort of free flowing. But I do think it'll be a bit of a slug match. So Liverpool are much better though, but I think it'll be a bit closer. Whether Arsenal deserve to be in the game as much or not, I don't know. But I've gone 3-2 Liverpool. I don't really know why. Just feels like I was going to go like 1-0 Liverpool. And then I thought, no, I'm not going to do that. What's the opposite to that? And it's sort of 3-2 Liverpool. So, Scott.
3-1 Liverpool. If Liverpool find a bit of form and actually turn up on the day, they're a much better side, aren't they? A much better side. So, I didn't know that Arsenal had Aubameyang out injured, but that's a big loss for him, isn't it? It's a big loss, so it just sort of cements me in what I was thinking that it's a 3-1 Liverpool result.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I do think have Liverpool had some players out in South America? I think Fabinho was he out there with Brazil? I just feel like there might be a bit of Smith Rowe. I think might be the one for Arsenal that shows up and is involved in their goals. I think everything seems to be ticking through him at the minute, so I'm going to sort of keep on that high. But Liverpool quality just too much, I think, like we've all said. David?
Well, I'm very much hoping it is game of the weekend, and it is a bit of a goal fest because I've gone 4-3 Liverpool.
He's gone for it. Nothing new to add, I assume. Just Liverpool scoring a bunch of goals. Okay then. So we'll start with David on this one because this is his ninth team in the league or whatever. It's City Everton. Disappointing from Everton last time out, wasn't it? So probably not the game they want to come back to.
No, exactly. They just kind of dropped off a bit, haven't they?
Why is that, do you think? Is that just a quality thing? Or
Yeah, they had a bunch of injuries, didn't they? So they had Rondon playing up front, and he's just not it, is he?
He's a downgrade on Calvert-Lewin, isn't he? But did I see that Calvert-Lewin's injured again?
I don't know. Is he?
I don't know. I feel like I saw a tweet or something from Calvert-Lewin, like a whole back stronger thing. So I feel like he's out. I don't think it'd make a massive difference to this game, to be honest.
No, I've gone 3-1 City. Just hoping that maybe Everton get like a counter-attack goal or something like that.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Scott?
All of the same reasons, but I don't think Everton are going to score 3-0 City for me.
Yeah.
Far better side.
I'll add that with a 3-0 as well. I just think it's a bad time to be playing them as well. After that international break, as I say, I think it all resets and quality starts to show through. So, yeah, City 3-0 for me. Josh, anything different?
An extra goal for me.
4-0.
Yeah.
Battering them. Not looking good for Everton. It might be looking good for Everton the way we pick. So you never know. Round it off then. Spurs Leeds. Tough one to call this for me. After looking at all the others, Leeds for me have been one of those completely. They've done a bit of a Wolves on me, and they're just one of these. After last year being this sort of everyone's, darling team, they've just completely anonymous this year. I haven't seen anything about them anywhere. I don't know anything about them really this year because they've just been just flat. And obviously with Conte going into Spurs, I can't see Spurs losing it. So it's 2-0 Spurs for me. Took me a while to get to that conclusion though. Josh, can you not back Spurs here?
Difficult to. It's difficult not to back Spurs for me. Has Harry Kane found form? I know he's played Albania and San Marino.
Yeah, I mean, the thing.
27 goals.
The thing is, although it's against rubbish opposition, it still doesn't do anything wrong for confidence, does it?
No, of course not. But no, I can't. I mean, it's going to have to be Spurs, unfortunately, and I think it's going to be 2-0.
David.
Yeah, I'm joining in on the 2-0 as well. Just that extra couple of weeks training under Conte is going to help, isn't it? So Leeds aren't great.
Leeds aren't great, and defensively, I think he's going to sort them right out, and then they've just got the quality to. If Kane does find a bit of confidence and a bit of form, and even if it's not a good performance, there's always a goal threat there, and there. So yeah, Scott, anything different?
No. 3-0 Spurs. I think fair enough. We played crap opposition in the international break, but I think that gives Kane the confidence boost, doesn't it?
It's like there's an echo in here or something. Anyway, yeah, 3-0. Sorry, mate. Confidence.
Such a knob.
Yeah, I know.
Such a knob.
Okay. Right. We'll have all forgotten about it by that point then, because that's a pointless game from our point of view. Joker time. We're all quiet, so
I'm ready.
Josh is ready.
Yeah,
Go for it.
Mine's on David this week.
Okay.
With his stupid 1-0, whatever it was.
1-0 Norwich.
That's
what I've got now.
Yeah, I thought it might be.
Bring it on.
Okay. Let me just note that down. I'd like to do the same thing, but I don't ever like it when you gang up on David and go in as the third one, because it'll happen one time. It will happen. David, have you got yours?
No, because we've all gone for a Newcastle win. So
that's your normal pick, isn't it? To be fair,
yeah,
that is your normal pick. I will go Josh for his 2-1 Wolves win against West Ham.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to do that as well.
You don't have to do anything, mate.
Did anyone go for a Burnley win?
No. There was a Burnley draw, which was
That was me,
which was you, yeah.
Can do it on myself.
you can, but you won't. Nothing will happen. So
I'll take the Wolves win then, I guess.
take the Wolves win. Okay, couple of double ups then.
I can't believe we made it through a whole episode and no one's played their joker on me. I've normally got at least one every week.
Yeah, I think you've pretty much agreed. Like you've been quite. There's been nothing controversial from you this week. We've all pretty much. You've agreed with the majority on most of them. I think the only one you've gone against is. I think you're the only one that's backed a Brighton win against the Villa. To be fair, which is a perfectly reasonable thing to do. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's not.
Southampton. Oh no, we all backed Southampton.
Yes, that's why you've joked. That's why you've joked, David. You tosser. There's no update really on the goal scorers, is there? Did anything happen last time? Is it still?
Nothing on mine.
It's still just 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's still just what is it? 7, 6, 5, 4.
Yeah.
So still bang close. Still plenty to go on there. You know, one hat trick or brace, it sends it all into orbit, doesn't it? So score wise overall, David's comparatively good week on 6 does make him joint top with Josh, both on 83. Scott, obviously, I scored. Well, you are last at 59. You did claw some because I only scored 1, but you failed to capitalise on that really by only gaining 2 on me. So I've got away with that a little bit. I'm on 64, so being cut adrift a little bit. And then Scott's on 59, so it is very much a sort of a top half and a bottom half thing, and it's like the Scottish League split or something. It's you're battling out for the top, and then it's me and Scott to avoid bottom place at the minute. But there's plenty of time to go. One big week. I say big week. What's the most anyone scored? Is it 13? It's not great, is it? It's a decent amount of points, but for that to be the best, it's not good.
When there's 10 games a week.
Yeah, it's not been a good showing from us so far, boys. But we're warming up. It's all right. We're still, what are we? Still only November. Plenty of time.
Yeah, there's 2/3 of a season to go. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll come good. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it's only game week 12, isn't it?
It is game week 12. Yeah, it's only a third of the way through. Yeah. Okay.
I've averaged 6 points a week.
I was being quite solid. I was being uninspiring, but 8 every week on average, and now it's just gone. It's like 1 and 3, but it seems to have had all of us. So.
No, but if you've noticed, my predictions have not changed. I'm using the same, just sort of pluck shit out of the air. So it's you guys that have started doubting yourself, and now you're just going the same way as me.
Honestly, mate, usually I'm looking at the list of games for the first time when we do this, so the methods aren't too different.
3-4 weeks ago, when you guys were doing well, I wasn't agreeing with any of you. And the last 2 or 3 weeks, I'm pretty similar.
Yeah, and we've all done shit.
We're all doing equally shit.
Yeah, no, absolutely no arguments there.
The biggest relief for me is that you got 1, because that means I'm not the only person that scored 1 point.
Yeah, no, that is true. I mean, and again, with you scoring, if I'd have got even just like a 6 or an 8 or something, it would have put some distance between. But do you know what it is? It's probably that. I'm not watching a huge amount of football this year, if I'm honest, in terms of like neutral. Like because I generally, it's a bit childish, but I don't generally watch Match of the Day if United haven't won. And United haven't won very much, so I've not watched much Match of the Day even for highlights to learn about these teams. So, Josh, I know Arsenal have turned a bit of a corner, but it's probably been the same for you. Not watching that much neutral football. And David, you probably never fucking watch it. So.
I've Match of the Day since I've got
Since Alan Shearer retired, yeah.
Alan Shearer has left.
He'd score more goals now, I reckon.
He's left Match of the Day.
Okay. Right, well, with that, thanks for watching, Abs. It's our one non-bear viewer. But it's all right because some people will watch it back. It says 10 playbacks, so that's probably just everyone refreshing or something. But whatever. A few people watch it back, and we'll see. We'll see. If anyone does watch it back, we've obviously got some new bits and bobs coming out. So like and subscribe. Josh has pointed, so that you don't miss those. They should be out already, shouldn't they? Really, but a few little technical mishaps have had to redo a few things, but they are.
I mean, mine's not technical. I've just been dying from the plague. So
no, well, mine was technical. Obviously, I had a database loaded that's got some buggy bugs, so I've had to sort of start again and catch up. But there we go. So it's all coming out soon, guys, and we'll be back next week. But if you, in the meantime, drop your predictions in the comments and stuff like that. If you fancy it, see how you get on. You won't find it difficult to beat this absolute shower that we put on every week. So it's worth a bash. Can't do any worse. Anything else, guys? All good?
No. Merry Christmas.
Merry fucking Christmas.
Yeah.
It's not even December yet, mate.
He's gone. Of course, he's gone. Right, guys, that's it. I'll see you again soon.